I just defeated Voldemort. I wonder what other evils there are. Communism is the answer!
Communism in the United States. The Communist Party started in 1919. What is communism? Communism is a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war leading to a society property that is publicly owned. Each person works and is paid to their abilities and needs. Communism was always a part of the Soviet Union, but as the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States intensified in the late 1940s and early 1950s, the Red Scare began. What is the Red Scare? After the Russian Revolution, the newly formed Communist Party attracts members, which was one thing Americans feared the most. There was two Red Scares. The first one was focused on worker revolution. The second Red Scare, also known as McCarthyism, suggested that 205 known communists infiltrated the State Department to shape American foreign policy, but they had little to no evidence to prove that it was true. The United States strongly believed that all communist movements in the world were controlled by the USSR. Then, the US came up with the domino theory, which stated that if one nation were to fall in communism, the nations around it would fall as well. Then came along the containment policy, which was made to stop communism wherever it spreads. During the 1930s, the Great Depression era, more Americans joined the Communist Party because capitalism wasn't helping the less fortunate. 80,000 Americans joined the Communist Party during this time because capitalism wasn't helping the poor.
I just defeated Voldemort. I wonder what other evils there are. Radiation and nuclear fallout is the answer. Radiation is a type of dangerous and powerful energy that is produced by radioactive substances and nuclear reactions. Nuclear bombs are 50 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Little Boy, the first atomic bomb, killed about 117,000 people, and Fat Man killed around 70,000, which ended the Pacific War. Then the Soviets started to develop even more powerful weapons known as hydrogen bombs. There were about 7 different countries that used or tested bombs.
The results of nuclear war, if we ever had one, would be catastrophic. Large cities burned to the ground everywhere, which would also lead to the burning of urban areas. An estimated 150 million tons of smoke would rise up into the atmosphere. It would block 70% of the sunlight in the northern hemisphere. Quickly, it would spread worldwide and cause 35% of the west hemisphere sunlight. The entire earth would be extremely cold, which would lead to no food production. There would be 45% less chance of rainfall, and the growing seasons would be eliminated. Dangerous levels of UV light would also come in through the ozone layer and would cause major destruction to the skin, to the brain, and to many other parts of the body. It would also be impossible for living things to keep living because of all these changes that happened so quickly. The reasons why it would be impossible for these living things to keep on living is because of all the UV light that would come in, all the radioactive fallout, the massive release of toxins, and the industrial chemicals in the air. Also, the land would be super stressed of all these occurring fast changes, and eventually the marine ecosystems would collapse. Also, humans would eventually starve and everybody would die, and the zombie happens. The end.
Thanks for watching!